This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist T.J. McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's T.J. McCormick.
Hey there, there's the song. There's the music. We're back. It's 6 minutes past the hour here on Red Apple Audio Networks all around the country and WABCRadio.com all around the world. Me, TJ McCormick. It's Another Side of Midnight. Yeah, if it sounds like I'm really forcing it and sort of telling myself I'm not tired, because that's exactly what I'm doing. Yes. Good morning and good evening out on the coast. Yeah. So I hope you're all well. It's been a whole week, and what a week it's been. 1-800-848-WABC. By the way, at 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. As I'm sitting here in the Bernard McGurk studios at 77 WABC in Midtown East here in Manhattan. It's cold now, by the way. It definitely feels like fall.
How cold is it?
It's so cold that, yeah, it's cold. It's chilly. That now I use the seat heaters in the car and the heated steering wheel. And, I ordered firewood. So there you go. It's fall. And I'm accessorizing. I think Tony can even see. I've got this little thing. It's called a snood. S-N-O-O-D. S-nude. Or snood, whatever. It's a, if you guys all go and look it up, it's called a snood, and it's like a neck warmer. It's a self-contained, it's a cylinder that you wear around your neck. And some people call it a gaiter.
I call it a scarf.
You call it a scarf. Okay. Yeah. But it's a tube. It's a tube, this snood. I sound like Dr. Seuss. It's a tube, this snood that I wear. And this snood, should I be nude, would not be enough to not be rude. This snood does not prevent you being rude when you are nude. Sorry, we're going to go down that path again. I'm just going to get into some odd character and do it for 20 minutes, and I don't want to do that. Not in the nude with a snood. 1-800-848-9222. Anyway, yeah, so it's definitely, 'tis the season, and I'm happy about that, because I can't stand breaking a sweat at all. And, the cooler it is, the better it is for me in that regard, because I run hot. And I don't just mean in the sexy way. So it's Another Side of Midnight, and if I sound a little bit punchy, that's because I put so much energy into being so energetic for the Rita Cosby show. I filled in for Rita 2 hours ago for 2 hours. So actually 4 hours ago for 2 hours. And then I listened to Dr. Sky in the interim, as I did my best to sort of rally my energy and focus again onto doing a radio program for y'all in our slot here in the overnight early morning of Saturday. What is it? Oh my gosh, the 25th. That's right, because next Saturday is November 1st. Yowza. So it has been a week, gang. It's been a week. And, here's the throat. Yep, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. So I got to take me a little bit of Diet Coke. Please excuse me. I'm going to hit the cough button. Okay, there goes that. All right, good. So yes, it's been a heck of a week. And, in the early part of the week, we had more mess about the shutdown. And the shutdown continues. And what I find to be really, really fun is the fact that Democrats still can't talk their way into leading the conversation. They can't. They just can't do it. The Republicans continue to drive the narrative. And that is just not very Republicanish. They're normally playing catch up on the messaging. And this is just refreshing. They continue to win the messaging battle. They're talking about the fact that only those people who are here legally, us, and those here legally, and all of us who are actual United States citizens or green card holders, et cetera, naturalized citizens or legal residents should be receiving, any sort of federal benefits. And that's that. And the Democrats just can't seem to argue their way out of a wet paper bag these days. And that's because they're just a mess and they're on the wrong side of everything else. See, that's the thing too. The Democrats are on the wrong side of everything else, which this week includes, being on the wrong side of arguing for, the safety of narco terrorists. For crying out loud. Complaining about us blowing up the boats of and by the way, boats, the submarines. Okay. We're blowing up submarines, drug delivering subs. So, you're going to have a hard time explaining that those are really actually just fishermen looking to deliver a better life to their children. They've been designated a terrorist threat to the country, and so we're going to blow them up. And the Democrats, if they want to complain and demand safe passage for such vessels, well, they're just idiots on the wrong side again. 1-800-848-9222. And so, what a week. So they've been, the showdown and the shutdown, they continue. They sent an aircraft carrier, by the way, in continuing this assault on narco terrorists and their fleet of submarines and other speedboats. We decided to go ahead and send an air carrier group off the coast of South America, I believe in the Caribbean. So that's a cool development. I love that. Trump has now issued sanctions on Colombian President Petro, which is really fun. Because Petro's just out there screaming and ranting and raving, and he needs to really take a long look at the president's recent list of accomplishments. Aside from the nice stuff, where the president, he's messing with the guy who's on the right side of history and is behind, peace breaking out all over the world. You're not going to get very far as the president of Colombia complaining that President Trump is issuing sanctions, because this is a guy who's leading the way on peace initiatives around the world, and he's kicking ass and taking names around the world. Just ask him in Iran. Just ask Hezbollah in Lebanon. Just ask Hamas in Palestine. Just ask all the bad guys. Ask those narco-terrorists if you can find a piece of them. Ask a fragment of a terrorist if you want to be on the president's good side or his bad side. Also, the other fun thing to watch, like, grab your popcorn and enjoy the show is the hey, Tone, in the cuts, is it's really fun to listen to the left-wing chorus just sing their ugly song about the demolition of the White House. I'm finding it myself, Tone. Sorry. 16 and 17. If you've been, the last couple of days especially, the left wing has been just screaming, clutching their faux pearls about the destruction of the people's house. Everyone from Hillary Clinton to others. And we'll start with cut 16. This is Trump describing why he's got to do what he's got to do to the White House to make it better.
And I usually like to steer to the White House because this house was a little bit abandoned. First of all, for 4 years, you had a guy walking around that didn't know where the hell he was. And this house was not taken care of the way it was supposed to be. I take very good care of property. I was very good at that. And you'll notice the floors downstairs. I paid for them. Marble, the most beautiful marble you've ever seen. The white floors down in the palm room, which they look like they came out of, I don't want to lose because they're big supporters of mine, Home Depot, so I'm not going to say bad, but they did come out of a box from Home Depot about 30 years ago. They were all broken, but now they have the most beautiful floors, the most beautiful lights and chandeliers. I think most of you, Brian, you've seen that, right?
Yes.
How beautiful is that? And I take care of it. So, I spend millions of dollars on this building, taking care of it. It was not properly maintained. And now it's starting to gleam like it should. It should really gleam. And you should go down and visit the Presidential Walk of Fame. Have you seen it? It's quite good. I'm sure that a lot of people coming to the White House, it's hot. It's very hot. But it's really a tribute to the presidents, past presidents of our country. Yeah, please.
Mr. President.
I love him. You know what? I got to admit, that was the first time that ever came out very naturally. I love him. I used to do so with like one, with kind of like I dial 9-1 and then see what was going to happen before I hit the other one. I would watch Trump. I'd listen to Trump in that whole first term, and I'd just be waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I'd just be so concerned about who was going to take something wrong. Now I don't care. I love the guy. Gleam. It should gleam. It's gleaming. It should gleam. How fantastic is this dude? And he drops in, by the way, talks about how it should gleam. He talks about how much he loves and how much he takes care and how many other people didn't. And the one little, what was the throwaway? The little think that he didn't repeat was that he paid for it. He paid for the marble floors in the palm room. I don't know what room. I've never been. But he drops in just a little thing about the fact that he paid for it. Well, what everybody's up in arms about this week is the tearing down, the making way for this new ballroom. They're making way for the new ballroom. And like I say, Hillary Clinton, and if you haven't seen the cringiest, now I don't have that audio, but can you hear my hands over my face? Can you hear that? You hear my hands over my hands are over my face because I loathe the cringe that is created. The original cringe, which is like original sin of, what's her name? Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, she and Debbie Klobuchar got together, and it was like Wonder Twin powers activate of cringe. Form of douche chills, form of toe curling. And they made this like super baby bomb of cringe in a video about the tearing down of the, we'll get back into this in a second. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick, all over the world, all around the country on Red Apple Audio Networks. It's 20 minutes after, and we shall return. We'll talk more about the Cringe Fest, about really much ado about nothing. 1-800-848-9222. We'll be right back.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack, 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. 24 minutes past. Thank you, Anthony. And, so the Cringe Fest all over the actual beautification of an expansion of the White House with a new ballroom. And what makes it so cringe is the fact that all of these Democrats and these liberal commentators, they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on lies, on untruths, on exaggerations, on lies. Like everyone's favorite liar, this one right here. I'm 17. Yeah.
We have all of that money. We have available money to do all those kinds of things, but not for your health care. We had the money to make the tax cuts for billionaires permanent, so they get them forever. We had that money, and we have the money to do this to your White House, but no money for you. No money for food stamps. People are going to run out of food stamps. Those are not going to be renewed.
Dummy.
That's going to create a crisis of hunger across this country.
Dummy.
We have no money for that. No money for food stamps.
Sure we do.
No money to pay federal workers.
Sure we do.
Fire and lay off federal workers. No money to pay the TSA agents keeping you safe or the air traffic controllers to make sure your planes don't crash. No money for that. But we have money for this. Make it make sense. Is that how you want your money used? Is this what you voted for? Because if this is making America great again, we need to stop making America great again because I'm exhausted.
Oh, that's
morally
original.
And physically and mentally exhausted.
Ah, you dopey Joy Reid dopey. First of all, get a windsock. Or one of those furry things for your dopey microphone or whatever it is that you were recording on there, Joy Reid. Okay? You're lying. It's not true. It's not, first of all of that money is right there for all of those purposes, for all of those needs. All Schumer and Thune have to do, and by the way, I said it earlier, I cannot say Senator Thune without sounding like somebody with a lisp saying soon. Senator Thune. When's the car here, Billy? Senator Thune. We're late. I know it'll be here soon, Senator. When's lunch? Soon. So Schumer and Hakeem, Schumer and Jeffries, okay? It's right there. All they have to do, as Mike Lawler, when he confronted Hakeem and said, right here, you just sign it right here. Congressman, right here. All you got to do is sign it here. Open up the government. Just sign right here. I did. You can do it too. I know Mike. I love Mike. I can imitate Mike. Mike does Trump. I do Mike. There you go. But she's lying and disingenuous. She's disingenuous at best, lying at worst. She knows exactly. And so's Hillary and all these other dopey idiots who are sitting there on their, doing their little videos or getting on liberal TV and talking about how, he's tearing down the people's house and all of that mess. He's preparing by demoing like a walkway, it's a causeway, it's a breezeway or something like that, or it's some underutilized portion of the East Wing, which this part of the wing is about 60 or 70 years old, maybe? Something like that? Did Eisenhower, it's like 60, 70 years old, as opposed to the 200-something-year-old White House. And nobody made a stink when they covered over pools and put in bowling alleys and basketball courts. I think, and by the way, people were representing Obama's basketball court is like throwing up a goal post, a goal in the driveway, or like, on a garage. I think he either put it over a tennis court, and is it indoor or outdoor? I don't know. Maybe it is outdoor, but still, it's a proper basketball court. It was not cheap, and it was part of a larger it's like $500 million. I'm pretty damn sure Obama spent $500 million of taxpayer money on all those other refurbishments, by the way, taxpayer money. Trump, this is where Joy Reid and all the rest are lying to you and being disingenuous at best. Private donors are paying for this ballroom. Private donors. This is being donated to the people, not being paid for by the people. This is being donated to the people by the president and his friends. Yep, same president who still has yet to take a paycheck. Yes, same president who has paid for strangers' entire cancer treatments. Yep, same president. So, shut the hell up. So very tired of the BS. I mean, just look, you have enough you could make an argument on by telling the truth. That's what always kills me when it comes to some of these buffoons, is the fact that there's enough there. I mean, you could say Joy Reid could get just as much mileage out of talking about, I don't know, the president being distracted by a ballroom. Okay. That way you could make enough hay out of that. The president, maybe donors could be putting money towards, maybe, I don't know, something other than a ballroom for the White House. You could make arguments based in fact, and you could make criticisms based in reality, and not be disingenuous and just throwing your critiques out the window. It's like lighting money on fire, which is what all of them do anyway with their big government ideals. But again, they make up their own reality for their own complaint, and it just irritates me, because I'm just I'm all about intellectual honesty. It's okay to loathe this president, be a Democrat, be a liberal. That's cool. But don't make arguments out of whole cloth. Don't make stuff up. Go with what you've got. Make something out of the truth. I don't know. It's so frustrating. I just wish they would. Anyway, 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. The other fun stuff is we've got, Tish James in court, and that's a wonderful thing. And tell you what, to close out the week, the gambling thing, we're going to have to talk about that in a little bit of depth. That thing can straddle a couple of portions of the program. The gambling thing, we can talk about in the news portion, the news and talking commentary portion of our family gather round, but also in the recovery portion, because with this news has come out exactly as people talked yesterday about this bust, this NBA bust. I'm sorry, this NBA gambling ring bust. People started talking more and more about the gambling epidemic as enabled by the mobile gaming industry and the legalized gambling from coast to coast. You just knew there'd be a problem. And now this is another phrase you heard all day Friday. Tip of the iceberg. All day Friday. Tip of the iceberg. 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ. Let's go over to Gary in Queens on line 1. Good morning, Gary. I can get back to saying good morning. It's so much more natural. Good morning, Gary.
Oh, hi, TJ. I guess I'm the leadoff hitter.
You are. Who do you want to be? You want to be Phil Rizzuto? Who do you want to be? Be leadoff hitter?
Mickey Rivers.
Mickey Rivers. Oh, Mick the Quick. You get Tony's agreement as well. I love. Great call. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, batting. What was Mickey's number? What the hell was Mickey?
Number 7.
Was he 17? 17.
Yeah.
Number 17, Mickey Rivers. Number 17. Okay, go ahead, buddy.
And like Phil Rizzuto said, Mickey Rivers would walk like he has bad feet, but he didn't run like he had bad feet.
Right.
The
So
bench
true.
threw him out trying to steal in the 76 World Series. But anyway, your show, I love your show, TJ.
Oh, thank you.
are the man.
Thank you, Gary.
And what a relief. Do you remember the commercial Pop Pop this is, or what a relief it is?
Yes.
Because I'm glad, because you know what I'm doing? Listen, during those riots in 2020, right? And they were breaking into all the stores and everything and looting and smashing the stores with sledgehammer windows.
Yep.
I would stay out. I'd go out there, but I would be like 7-8 blocks away. I could see the crowds.
Wow.
I just want to let people know those nights, especially in front of Foot Locker, you go to the Post in June of 2020 in front of Foot Locker. It was it was one of the great stands in modern history. Curtis Lewer and his Garden Angels stood face to face with the looters.
Wow.
And they went toe to toe fighting with them. Curtis got a busted jaw.
Wow.
One of the other guys, and the other guy was not a young dude, got a busted eye socket.
Wow.
A busted nose. But when the sun came up that morning, Curtis Lewer and the Guardian Angels were still standing. That's why I'm still standing with Curtis. Yeah. Curtis is a trooper. He was out there fighting them, trying to stop the looting and everything. And people are turning on him now. There's no McLaughlin group polls being taken. These are college polls that are all nonsense. I mean, let's face it. They don't want to tell the truth. They try to make it sound like a bunch of college kids are voting for Mandami. And Omar got elected by a bunch of college kids, or Ortiz, what's her name, Alex Kotex in the Bronx and Queens Congressional District. No, it was the third worlders that are voting for him, and they're not going to change their methods. They lied to us. They said that minorities are going to vote Republican. They're not voting. Why do they continue to lie, and why do people believe it? Because a lot of people who call talk radio are not conservatives. People have to realize that. There's nobody spent any big money on any polls for this mayor's race. Curtis is in this thing. He just got to get his voters out. I mean, they're starting this morning. If you're voting for Curtis, go out there and vote for him today, and then start bringing everybody you know who's voting for him to the polls. You know, there's a lot of people in this city, and we got and the ballot initiatives. You know those ballot initiatives for real estate, 2, 3, and 4? I'm voting no on all of them. But they're going to take away community power in your neighborhood where they can build anything. So if
you know what,
gets in, he can build a housing project in your neighborhood.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, buddy. And listen, anybody who can call up and educate me about these ballot initiatives in the city. I'm curious. I don't know enough. Nobody's Gary in Queens is the very first to deliver unto me any reference to these real estate ballot measures in New York City. Curious if somebody could give me a little bit of a rundown, a little bit of a primer in what some of these ballot initiatives are, in this election. I didn't know there were any issues as such. 1-800-848-9222. Early voting, interesting. It gives all the parties a good look, by the way. You never know how people vote, but on a daily basis, we start getting an idea of who's voting. It's a whole new layer of get out the vote. It's a whole new layer of information that is gathered over the course of the week, so that come election day, campaigns get a lot more sophisticated because they have a lot of information. They don't have to waste their time making phone calls and knocking on doors of people who already voted. They can really concentrate on people who haven't left the house yet to vote. Because again, they know who shows up. They just don't know, of course, they don't know how they voted. But it is true. And again, with these super majorities, you never know. Or rather with these election changes, things like the weighted voting and how they're moving the local elections to the even years, none of that benefits Republicans. It's not an even, they're looking to help out everybody, Anyway, sorry. Let's get over to line 1 real quick. Charles on the Lower East Side. So you have a little bit of a little information for me, because I'm embarrassed to say I wasn't even aware of these initiatives on the ballot.
Oh, thank you, TJ, for the time. Yes,
of course.
Ballot initiatives 2, 3, and 4. Vote no, everybody, because it takes away your power to stop these big developers from building. If Danny gets in, he'll build a housing project in the South Shore of Long Island. of Staten Island, or in beautiful neighborhoods in Riverdale, or in parts of Queens that are nice. You'll have no more power. It'll be all up to the mayor and the communist city council. You'll be powerless to stop it. But vote no on all the ballots. They're all horrible. But 2, 3, and 4 deal with real estate, taking away your power in your neighborhood and the zoning, and they'll build whatever they want. And you don't want that. So
Charles, it's I know, like up in Westchester, where I'm from, we've had battles for years and years and years, starting with the Obama administration, over home rule and local zoning being trying to be taken away from neighborhoods and communities and towns and villages. What's the DNA of this particular ballot initiative? I know 2, 3, and 4. Are they all? Which one is the real estate, the zoning, the development one?
All 3 of them. All 3 of them have all 3 of them involve your neighborhoods, folks, and it has development with the big developers coming and building. This is an initiative put together by Mayor Adams, and he's no friend of the people out there. And who cares about his endorsement? If you look at the second debate, this question came up about ballot initiatives 2, 3, and 4, which deal with your neighborhoods and construction. And Mandami said, "Oh, I really haven't looked at it. I haven't decided." He knows full well what it is.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? He's too cute by half right there by pretending that just by him saying he hadn't seen it, he knew it word for word. I generally speaking, Charles, I tend to just vote no on really anything that shows up in my ballot, unless I know my people put it up there. And in a blue state like New York, that's very, very rare. So yeah, I tend to shy away from any ballot measures in New York. I almost always vote no. And I also vote no in every school election against the budget. One of these days, my town's going to vote down the school budget. God willing. Thank you, Charles. Thank you for calling in. So 2, 3, and 4, gang. Charles says no go. That's interesting. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Al in Yonkers. Good morning. Hey, Al.
Oh, hey.
Hi there.
Hey, TJ. Hi. Good listening to your show.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say quickly, I wanted to mention the mayor's race, but I just wanted to say nationally, I'm a Republican, but I personally feel that the Republicans are losing this message with the government shutdown.
Do you think so? I think they're winning. Go ahead.
I don't. You want to know why?
Sure,
because
please.
Under the big beautiful bill, people's premiums will go sky high, and I think personally, and not knocking the speaker, but he's digging a ditch next year for the Republicans to keep the House because he's not even meeting in Washington. It's crazy. He's not even meeting with the Democrats. He's not even in Washington. You're an educated person. You don't think that's crazy?
Well, they're not in Washington. I mean, the Democrats are not. Nobody's in Washington. Right? Actually, Republicans have been in Washington. Mike Lawler, a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago, confronted Hakeem Jeffries there in the hallways of the Capitol. They all seem to be having daily press conferences in the Capitol. I think the Republicans, or at least a number of the staff, are there. And I guess it's not a terrible thing if they're not in session, for these Republicans and Democrats to at least be in their home districts. I know Mike Lawler has been back and forth between his district and I keep saying Lawler because he's my congressman, so I just happen to know. But I don't know, man. I think if they're not in session, you'd want them at least being in their constituencies talking to people. But I do see Johnson there all the time, every day doing press conferences.
I don't think he's in Washington. The problem with Johnson is that him and Thune, they will not move without President Trump. Mm-hmm. So I think personally, this is my own, that the narrative that we're worried about construction of
a ballroom
when the government is shut down. I just think
that's bad optics. I'm with you on that. That's like lousy optics. I'd much rather have this conversation while, on the other side of the mall, on Capitol Hill, they're in full swing and working for the people. I totally agree with that. It's really frustrating that the optics are what they are with that. But at the same time, I mean, you got to do what you got to do when you can do it. And the fact that the taxpayers are not flipping the bill for this ballroom, I dig that. I like that. It's not frivolous spending.
No, me too. But you got as because you know a lot about politics.
I know a little.
The president foreign policy could be a big deal. But if you're having domestic problems, it would seal your fate. You remember George Bush the First? He was at 92% with Kuwait and all.
Right.
But then the problems started to tank domestically. Let's just quickly, and I won't keep you. I just want to say with the mayor's race, if you don't mind.
Please.
If I initially called.
Go ahead.
The problem is with Governor Cuomo, he has very high negatives. Mm-hmm. And like Susan from Pennsylvania or upstate mentioned earlier, and when you were covering for Rita, his problem on the ballot position, he's way at the bottom, and that's really detrimental because when you look at the ballot position, you'll see Curtis on the top, and you'll also see the Assemblyman Mondami, and personally. I don't live in New York City, but I have some friends in Woodlawn who've asked me who they should vote for. And I actually am a person of ideology.
Right. So you're telling them Curtis.
I tell them, yes.
Hey, look, look, buddy, you might as well because, I mean, again, I just think, I think it's over. I think it's going to be Mamdani. I'm girding my loins.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be Mamdani. These numbers just don't trickle. They just don't trickle. I gotta jump, buddy. Thank you, Al. Thank you for calling. As always, you always bring a really cool, chill perspective, and it's always smart. and you always make the show better. And I know I say that a lot, but I always mean it when I say it to everybody. So thank you for that, Al. You're very cool. All right. 47 minutes past the hour. And this is still another side of midnight. I'm still just barely TJ McCormick. And this is the Red Apple Audio Network's 1-800-848-9222. We shall return.
All night long. This is another side of midnight with TJ McCormack. 77 WABC. It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
Do we like the original Van Halen or the Sammy Hagar Van Halen? Please, original.
Come on, man, David, man. No disrespect to Sammy, but David was the man.
The man. And he was one of the last hairy-chested sex symbols. That guy had it looked like Elvis's Jungle Room. Little shag carpeting on his body. But he made it work. I'm somewhat hirsute in that regard. And by the way, it's funny because hirsute, which means hairy, sounds like someone from down south saying, look like you got a hirsute on. I swear, when he's naked, he look like he wearing a hirsute. Oh, that's what that means too? Well, look at that. Anyway, sorry. It is another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick, here on Red Apple Audio Networks all around the United States of America and all around the world on abcradio.com, wabcradio.com, wabcradio.com. Tell your friends. And we also have an app. You can get the app, and a whole chunk of the family are on, it's like if we had, I'm trying to think of what section of the family, what we would call them, but a bunch of the family are over on Twitter. They're on X, and, they are at TJ McCormick. That's me on Twitter. At TJ McCormack. There's a bunch of the gang over there. In the next break, I'll take a look and see who's there, and, we'll say hi to everyone. Over there on, Twitter at TJ McCormick. 1-800-848-9222. And let's get over to Fred in St. Petersburg. Good morning, Fred, talking about the shutdown. Hello, Frederick.
Hey, TJ. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
So, they're complaining about Trump and this whole King thing and the government. And in case you didn't know, the government's still shut down.
Yeah.
So just get like a box of like 100 Sharpie markers. Just executive order the whole government that pay all the accepted workers.
Right.
Everybody that's working still. Yeah. Pay them.
Yeah.
And make the Democrats get a court order. They like to go to court.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah, we're still paying taxes. Money is still going in.
Yep.
Social Security checks are still going out. Military pensions are still going out.
Yeah.
We're still functioning with the military.
Now, didn't we, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just curious, I mean, didn't I hear, I'm pretty damn sure I heard, that he was getting together some dough from the tariff income to pay at least some of the military. I mean, I can't imagine we have enough dough like just sitting in an account. And also there were some private donors. Some private donor came up with $130 million to pay another chunk of the federal workforce. I'm not sure what. I know that in terms of paying the workforce, $130 million doesn't go very far. But we are getting creative to some extent, aren't we?
Right. This is the perfect opportunity to rack and stack the government.
Yep.
what we really need. Obviously, the Democrats. Trump walked into the buzzsaw again.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay. You want to pay the air traffic controllers. Mm-hmm. We're going into the holidays.
Right.
It's the heaviest travel time of the year. You're not going to pay these people.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
How long is this going to go on for? They're going to go into recess.
Right.
Just emergency actions. Keep the parts of the government open that need to run. Pay the people who need to go. After that, I say let Russ Vought do his job.
Mm-hmm.
You get a pink slip. You get a pink slip.
Yes, you get a pink slip. Yeah. Hey, he loves pulling the levers. I think he just needs people around that cabinet table to tell him what his options are, what it is that he can do if he wants to. He loves flexing, and this could be a pretty cool damn flex. I like the idea. Get out the Sharpies and sign EOs until the Sharpies are dry. And start throwing around some of those reserve funds and do what you got to do. I dig that. That's the kind of thing. If somebody sits him down and says, "Sir," as he loves, to say, "Sir, Mr. President, you can do this. You can do this." I'm sure he knows some of these options, and who knows what he's waiting for. But that is a fascinating notion that had not been run by me before. I didn't know about that one either. Thank you, Fred. Thank you very much, my buddy, from St. Petersburg.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. Always call in, please. 1-800-848-9222. So we're going to go into the next hour, and then the final hour, as always, will be recovery. We'll talk a little bit of sobriety. We'll talk a little bit of experience, strength, and hope. And maybe this morning there'll be a bit of a lean into the gambling addiction, because this end of the week story about the NBA/mafia/ X-ray poker table scandal. I gotta say, when I heard it, I was not terribly moved. I mean, I'll explain, but I always have a hard time connecting the dots between illegal, like poker games, for example. When they say that there were illegal poker games and there were victims of fraud, I have a hard time sort of bringing all that together and being outraged or upset for the victim. Who's the victim? The victim who showed up at the illegal card game?
It's Another Side of Midnight. 77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack. Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 7 minutes past the hour. It's another side of midnight. Me, TJ, on the Red Apple Audio Networks, Red Apple Audio Networks. And, 1-800-848-9222. Pretty cool, fun conversation going on. Open up to really, again, I like to make sure people know you can talk about whatever you want. It's certainly, of course, when, we're talking about a particular topic that, floats your boat or strikes your fancy. But if there is something burning a hole in your pocket that you've got a burning desire to get out there, by all means, give a shout. If it's something that we're not talking about, that you're like, damn it, how are you not covering that? Call up and we'll do it. All right? 1-800-848-9222. And I mentioned earlier, the crew over at TJ McCormick on X. Catherine, as always, with her lovely and cool, comments. Thank you, Catherine. Catherine kind of give me a little bit of a shoulder rub there. Take no offense to Stan. That was a little while ago when I was, in here, for, Rita. I can just hear Catherine just sort of into my ear. You take no offense at Stan. He insults most of the hosts. So thank you, Catherine, for that. And Marianne is there, and we have Fran there, and just a bunch of people. We got Freddie Mac and Freebird. A whole bunch of cool, fantastic overnight, early morning family there. Thank you, gang. Especially Marianne and Catherine. And what happened to Patty in Mamaroneck? Patty, are you there? I was expecting some report from No Kings last week. No Kings and the absolutely stunning women who love those men at the No Kings rally. 1-800-848-9222. We're talking about a bunch of stuff, talking about the Much Ado About Nothing with the White House and all the repairs and that stuff. And we're talking about the New York mayor's race, and we're talking about blowing up narco terrorists, and we're talking about whatever, it's been a busy week. And so the gambling thing. The gambling thing, okay, it's happened before. When you hear about, like celebrity, that the time, remember it was it? I don't want to say out loud and like be wrong, so I won't guess the name, but I remember there being some celebrities that, and I don't want to conflate this with, an episode of The Sopranos. I know that Frank Sinatra Jr. was not involved in, okay. But when I heard about like the celebrity gambling rings, for example, that was like really, truly victimless stuff. Okay. Celebrities getting together in hotels and playing. Okay, great. That's one thing. But when I hear about bigwigs and fancy people and even just regular people showing up to an underground card game, right? And that underground card game, first of all, the existence of an underground card game with just now what feels like coast to coast gambling legalized. Not to mention mobile gaming, in your pocket. How many commercials do you see? Everybody from Chris Rock to Kevin, what's his name? Who's the little guy?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, thank you. To Kevin Hart and JB Smoove. Those commercials were the best. Oh my God. The Caesars commercials with JB Smoove and a fine Halle Berry. Oh my goodness. if there is a fountain of youth, Halle Berry drank all of it. It's dry. The fountain of youth looks like the Nevada desert now, because Halle Berry came in with a big straw and drank the whole damn thing. That is a stunning woman. And she's like what? 66? I'm just kidding. Anyway. So legalize gambling everywhere. Legalize mobile gaming seemingly everywhere. Just the tippity top of the iceberg question, first of all. Was it better? And I'll say, wasn't it better? But wasn't it at least exotic when you had to go, and I'm old enough to remember, when you had to go to Las Vegas? And then I'm old enough to remember that you could go to Atlantic City. You had to go to Atlantic City and Las Vegas. And I'm old enough to remember when they opened up the gaming in the Gulf states, down in Mississippi. And then Louisiana got a couple. And then you had the Indian casinos. And then you had, as a stand-up comic, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was working Vegas, sure. I was working Atlantic City, yup. And I was working Biloxi, Mississippi. And I was working Phoenix, Arizona. And you had Foxwoods. And you had them all over the place. And then it's not special anymore. And then they wonder why Vegas is dying. They wonder why Atlantic City just can't get it. Atlantic City is like Haiti. Atlantic City is like Haiti in that it's like, it had a heyday for like 10 minutes sometime 150 years ago, and that's it. And it's been just a tragic what could have been. Just like Haiti, a beautiful, 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 what could be an island paradise on the other side of the DR, but is just a warlord and war-torn, just corruption-plagued, blech. AC is just like that. AC has so much promise, and it could be so much awesome. But now it's just like, yeah, it's good, okay, but oh God, look at that. So anyway, wasn't it better when you could just gamble in like one or two places in America? And it was like kind of naughty and kind of this. And yeah, you had the mob, the slips and the guys with the pink slips, and they'd bet the football, and okay. Now, this, I gotta say, when this news broke, I mean, aside from like this Chauncey Billups thing and Rozier and the guys and when you throw in games, that's an entirely different subject. But when I hear of people showing up to a rigged poker game, I don't care. Right? Are you with me, Tone? I don't care. I don't see the oh geez. I don't see the oh damn. I don't see the poor them. I don't see the how dare they. I don't see the, what I see is, I'm sorry. Okay, wait, Hansi. First of all, you can go anywhere and play cards. You can go anywhere. You're a millionaire, billionaire. You're a wealthy electrician with a lot of trucks and this. What? You show up to anything other than a state-sanctioned legal game, or a game that all the dudes show up at your buddy's house and you put the card playing top on the table and you play. Those are the two scenarios where, yeah, everything's got to be cool. You show up to some mob thing or some Russian oligarch's yacht and you don't know what's going on. And it's high crazy stakes and it's illegal. Where's the victim? When I heard Cash Patel, and Cash Patel is my guy. I love Cash Patel, Mr. Amped Up and ready to go. I'm so amped up, I can't tighten my tie. I've never once have I seen Kash Patel's tie and his top button buttoned. I've never seen it because he's so. But, gang, none of this moved my needle, if you know what I mean. None of this moved my needle. I couldn't give a rat's about these quote unquote victims. I just don't see the correlation between illegal gambling and some whatever and somebody being a victim. They were taken with x-ray tables and card readers and card sensors that know what's in the cards and which hand is going to win on the flop and all that. I'm sorry. It's an illegal game. You want legal? Take your private jet, take your, whatever, take your fancy schmancy, go to AC, go to Foxwoods, go over there, go to Boston, go to any one of the thousands of casinos that, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a slot machine these days. They want to put one. There's one in Yonkers. There's a casino in Yonkers. For the love of sweet, feathery Jesus. Gang. So you gotta try harder to break my damn heart and get me to give a damn and talk about the FBI. Frankly, the FBI, kind of Cash wasting some time there. I'm part of it. Now, when we get into athletes throwing games, in what is legally sanctioned gambling and wagering and all that stuff. Now we're getting into, that's the fraud that I'll pay attention to. That's the fraud that I'll clutch my pearls and be like, no, you can't. So I'm curious what your take is on that. And we'll get into and are you a gambler? Are you now caught up in something here? Have you lost games? Have you lost bets where these guys, were involved? Some of these games? And I heard that somebody had put a compilation of Rozier moments from the last few years that were just hideous, bad moments on the court that now people are like, oh, that wasn't just a bad pass. Oh. All right, gang. Got to take our 20-minute break here. So we shall do that. When we come back, we'll get to the phones, talk a little bit of this gambling controversy. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ, on the Red Apple Audio Networks. We'll be right back.
All night long. This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack. 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
3:25 here in New York City, 25 past the hour. It is Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ, on Red Apple Audio Networks all around the United States of America. And I'm grateful that you're all there. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. Really seriously grateful that you're there. And let's get over to Charlie in Cherry Hill. Been waiting forever. Charlie, good morning. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi there, Charlie. Good morning. Welcome.
So I wanted to talk about Trump's ballroom that he was building.
Yes.
And I agree with the point you were making last hour that the Democrats have really overreached. That President Trump has the right to do this. He has the right to build the ballroom, and it's not doing anything wrong or illegal or unconstitutional. By the way, real quick, I just want to say you did an excellent job filling in for Rita Cosby.
Thank you very much. You're very cool. Thanks, Charlie. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's, you always hope that people dig it in somebody else's time slot. So thank you for that. Thank you. And go ahead.
Oh, but what I was going to say is another point, if the Democrats wanted to analyze it fairly, but they don't because they just filled with Trump derangement syndrome. They hate the guy.
Yeah.
But you could say that his tastes are gaudy or tacky, or that he has an excessive opulence. It's not a Quaker meeting house. Like you can tell he doesn't like the White House to look like a Quaker. He wants to spruce it up, and you could argue or quibble with him on grounds of taste or.
And
tacky.
You know what? And Charlie, I would. I would actually, Charlie. I don't dig the gilded, like what he's done to the Oval Office. I don't dig the gilded. I like the middle of the road. That was very funny, by the way. Not going to be a Quaker meeting house. He's not putting in shaker furniture. It's not Georgian. It's not in keeping with the colonnade in front of the main entrance. It's not a Georgian, colonial, edition. And I'm not digging the new Oval Office, Charlie. Is that how you feel too? Or?
Yes. No, I agree too. I think it looks like the Addams Family house. And
yes.
I expect Cousin It to be popping out anytime soon.
I know, buddy. I know. I'm with you. I really wish I really like, a nice sophisticated, I'm a sucker for colonial, especially when you're talking about, Washington. And I'm not a fan of these wall sconces and gilded, and I don't like how it's like when you see the shot now that first of all, the fireplace is a bit much now. I like the understated fireplace. I don't like the multi-tiered, all the paintings in there. So, look, I'm not a sycophant. I'm not like any, and so are you with me on the paintings? Yeah.
BJ, I totally agree with you. I think Halle Berry is the most beautiful woman in the world. I mean, for her age, I can't believe how good she looks. I mean, there are women in their 20s that don't look nearly as good as her. I think she's one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Halle Berry. Hallelujah. She could have been named Hallelujah, and that would have worked. Thank you, Charlie. All right, Charlie and I agree on taste in decorating and beautiful black women, which is something else that Donald Trump threw out this week. Beautiful black women in Chicago. Beautiful black women in Chicago loving what Trump is doing with the National Guard, keeping the neighborhood safe. Beautiful black women. And I believe he also told a reporter that she had beautiful red hair. Gotta love it. Thank you again, Charlie, for calling up. 29 minutes past. We got, let's see, who is it? We got, Steve in Manhattan. Steve, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you, Steve?
All right. Everybody goes nuts when I call you. I don't get to always call you, but I'm always listening, TJ. I love this show.
Thank you.
And, we last week we lost the Bronx boy in Ace Frehley. And, he was, I believe he was from the Bedford Park area, Bainbridge. Lydia is from there. The lady who's on, I think, Newsmax. Her son's from that neighborhood.
Oh, is that where Lydia's from? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, she's up. St. Brendan's is up there and everything.
Oh, I know St. Brendan's. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. There was some, let me tell you. I mean, we're all different age groups. There was some tough kids up there. I will tell you that much, know. Yeah. And, that was by the old Frankie Frisch Field. The 3rd Avenue L actually went past there on Webster Avenue. Went down 3rd Avenue, hit Webster Avenue, and then stopped at White Plains and Gun Hill Road. And then they took the train away all before our time. But I don't know why. It's like the city had better transportation 100 years ago than it has now, right?
Seems that way.
Highway, all the elevated trains. But anyway, talking about the mayor's election.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I will agree with that other caller. ballot proposals. You flip the ballot over, you'll see them. It's 1 through 6, but definitely 2, 3, and 4 deal with real estate in your neighborhood. You're saying no to that. And number one, vote no too. It's nonsense, that number 1. So the first 4 ballot initiatives, definitely a no. Don't forget to do it. Some people get all nervous in there and everything. I remember one time I told a woman at the desk there, I said, they asked me if I was a Republican, and I said, yeah. And I said, what does that mean? You're going to throw my ballot in the garbage? Everybody laughed and everything. Sometimes you do have people with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Curtis all the way. Sure. I will verify that during the looting of 2020 and all the riots, Curtis did square off with the looters and the rioters. Wow. And Curtis had a broken jaw. Now, when you have a broken jaw, you're drinking through a straw and you're eating baby food. And another guardian angel had a busted eye socket, busted nose. These guys weren't young guys. He's out there fighting with them. Right. I was out there, but nowhere near that kind of action when it was going on. I could tell you this year, talking to a lot of the Dandy supporters and everything, a lot of the young kids, a lot of them aren't even from New York. So, these kids, they call them college kids or they're young, whatever. What's a college kid? It means you're smoking pot in the morning.
Right, these days, right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
And some of them are going to get up on election day. They're going to have a couple of joints and go back to sleep. They're going to forget it's election day.
Yeah.
And,
hey, your lips to God's ears, right? Hopefully they sleep it off.
Yeah, definitely. But a lot of them aren't even registered to vote. They're not even in New York City, so they better not be voting. Curtis better be all over that like a pit bull in a meat locker.
And that's Curtis's hope. That's Curtis's last big hope here, is that turnout is so minuscule as New York City can be with voter turnout. If Mamdani can't inspire these children to come to the polls, that's where Curtis and Cuomo's best chance lies. And yes, would I love to see this guy who got his jaw busted? What is he, 67? Is pushing 70, just a few years ago out there doing battle like it was 1979, during the George Floyd riot. Boy, oh boy, I'd love to see that guy get it. That would be wonderful. But, I just don't know if the numbers are going to happen. Thank you, Steve. Very grateful as always when you call in. 1-800-848-9222. What do you think about the gambling? What do you think about this? I mean, call me about anything, but again, I'm curious if I'm alone on this. Again, this can't be CCNY all over again in the 30s? That awful gambling thing with the point shaving and stuff. But it's one thing. You cannot throw games, and the Black Sox scandal, right? Like that, we can't have that. I mean, that's because it is with legitimate gambling, and you just can't do that now with all of this stuff. But the poker games, the card games, who's a real victim when you show up to an illegal game? It's illegal. You're showing up. Who's the victim? Kind of like, no pun intended, all bets are off. You're showing up to a game that's not sanctioned. Who's to say you're a victim? You got taken? All right. You went to a poker game that wasn't you've got nothing but legal poker all around you. If you're anywhere in the United States, is the furthest drive, 2 or 3 hours at the most, depending on where you live? An hour and a half plane ride? But I mean, you can get in the car and drive to a legal poker situation anywhere. So you do the illegal one for the thrill of it? Is that the thing? Sorry. I don't know. I'm just not emotionally moved by this victims at illegal poker games. Nobody dragged you into an illegal poker game. Nobody pulled the wallet out of your pocket and said, I'm in. I'm going to do what's the ante? Sorry. I'm not moved. And I don't know. Let's go to, Charlie in Long Island. Charlie, talk about the government shutdown. Good morning. Hello there, Charlie.
Charlie?
Yes, sir. That's you. Hi. Good morning.
Charlie from Massapequa?
Yes. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. How are you guys doing?
All right.
I just like to get off the alien and getting their billions of dollars of free medical aid and
like the Democrats want to give all the illegals all their stuff.
The only thing I want to give them free is a free ticket on a plane back to where they came from.
Well played. Well played. Yeah, right.
A bag of peanuts and a canteen of water.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Look, I mean, Charlie, right? I mean, for the Democrats, it's a losing proposition to try to convince the American people during a Trump administration that we, after years of giving, what did we give? You know, in New York, Charlie, by the time they finally shut down the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, they had kicked out about $7 billion in hotels, meals, cell phones, debit cards, all to illegals, all to Biden's illegals.
I know.
Right?
Disgusting. Yeah.
It is. So what do you think about the rest of the shutdown? Do you think that the Republicans are winning the messaging? Some people think that it's running thin. I think the Republicans should hold tight.
I believe they should hold tight, and I'm sorry about some of the people who aren't getting checks and paid and things like that. But you can't give this money to these illegals. I'm sorry.
No, you can't.
I don't want it done.
No, and look,
no way.
And they'll get their money. They'll get their money. They'll get their retro pay when this thing finally passes over. All these federal employees. They're gonna get their money in one nice big fat lump sum. They'll be good. They'll be fine. I think that Trump definitely needs to stay on the right side of this, though. And as a previous caller said, got to make sure when the holidays start getting here, and that's soon, he better find some dough and some executive orders to make sure we pay TSA and air traffic controllers, because we don't need that crap raining down on the president and his good efforts and all the Republicans.
I agree wholeheartedly, and you have a great show, and thanks very much.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for calling in. 1-800. Be like Charlie. Call in. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. And, again, we've got Democrats in a position of rooting for this is life under Trump, where this is how good the Republicans have been at messaging since probably mid to late campaign going into 2025 and Trump's inauguration. In the Trump world, Republican messaging is so good that we've cornered Democrats into rooting for things like men and women's sports, men and women's locker rooms, anti-Semitic slogans, terrorizing Jews on the streets, assassinating free speech. This is what they're cheering for. Or explaining for. Oh, and I forgot. Cheering for and literally in the streets cheering for people, for murderers like Luigi Mangione. They are on the wrong side of history. They're on the wrong side of morality. They're on the wrong side of good and evil, the Democrats. It's disgusting. Let's talk to, let's see, I'm sorry, I'm squinting. Let's talk to, Patty in Mamaroneck. Oh, my goodness gracious. Line 2, Patty. Hello. Good morning, Patty. Yes, I was asking about you.
Hi, TJ.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. It's great to hear you. Oh, wow. Hi. How you been? I haven't seen you on Twitter in recent times.
I didn't want to be boring.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, just with the protests, I didn't want to tire them out. I've been going every weekend. They got me pegged now. They know who I am.
Really?
Me, Mike, and the kid. Yeah, they follow us now.
Hey, everybody, for everybody who doesn't know, Patty's a regular, loyal, lovely member of the family. And, she lives in Westchester County, near the, on the Sound Shore. And every week she deals with the No Kings type protesters who show up on Mamaroneck Avenue and Post Road in the middle of Mamaroneck. And so they've been there during the No Kings. They're there every weekend, right?
Every weekend. They don't miss.
They don't miss. And, is it the same people every weekend too? Are these all the same people every single week? You recognize the faces?
Basically, yeah, the smaller protests. The last one, we had all the invaders. They were from all over.
And now, exactly how rude does it get? What do you experience when you walk past them, by them, up to them, say hi to them? What?
Oh, they're obnoxious. They say very nasty things. They have very nasty signs.
Really?
They're obnoxious. They say that they're not paid protesters, yet I caught them on video collecting money.
Wow.
Yeah, for gas. They said it was for gas, and they just,
That's a paid protester. That's a paid protester, you asked me. They're paying for their gas, so it's expensive.
They said if you have a gas voucher, come up and we'll give you the cash. I was standing. All the politicians were there the past weekend showing their face.
Really? Latimer?
They didn't look... Yeah, Latimer was there. All the little trustees in Mamaroneck, the mayor, they were all running around down there.
Oh my God. You know what was beautiful in my town, as I've mentioned before, Patty, it's another side of midnight, gang. Good morning. As I mentioned before, Patty, my daughter is the founder of a Turning Point USA group at her
I was listening to you. I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. And
very impressive. Very.
Thank you. I'm very proud of her. And this week, and this is funny because when she started it, and again this year, she started it last year, and again this year, she got pushback from not kids in the school. She's got all the kids in the school, liberal, Democrat. She's got trans kinds of kids who are showing up at her meeting because she invites them all, just like Charlie Kirk would want her to. This year again, she got pushback from liberal parents in the town. And, this past week, of all people, she had Congressman Mike Lawler. Congressman Mike Lawler came to my daughter's Turning Point Club.
That's amazing.
They filled the auditorium, Patty. They filled the auditorium because he was there not to talk politics, but to rather answer questions about the government shutdown. And they invite everybody. There were liberal kids. There were furries, whatever. Everybody was welcome. The liberal.
We had the dinosaurs. They were here dancing in the street. The cop told them, cut that stuff out and get back on the sidewalk. They were doing that nasty dance in the middle of the street.
Ew. Oh, they're gross, aren't they?
Yes.
Patty, I love that you're out there fighting a good fight. You're the best.
I'll be there tomorrow, and I'm going to wear my Trump shirt.
All right, love. Take pictures again. Put them on Twitter.
Absolutely.
All right, love. TJ. Take care, Mama. Bye-bye. There goes Patty. I love when Patty fights the good fight. All right, we're going to take our break in a couple of minutes. But yes, Mike Lawler showed up at my daughter's TP, Turning Point USA group. They call it Stars and Stripes. And what's great is that again, it's the Turning Point high school groups. They're very, very smart. They have a strict no politics clause for these kids because they know as soon as they get political, that gives the angle to the high school and all the community to shut them down and shut them out. You can't get political. But they talk about government, and they talk about patriotism, and they talk about love of country. All right. And boom. And that's the gorgeous thing. And so they were successful this week. And Mike Lawler came and explained the government shutdown, answered other questions about how government works. It was a civics engagement, and they filled the auditorium, and they invited everybody of all stripes and all everything. And it was a raging, roaring success. And I love that the liberals hate that it happened. Ugh. All right, gang, let's take our quarter of the hour break, and we'll do that right now. When we come back, more of your calls, and we'll get to the third hour, talk a little recovery, and I'll also I got a buddy of mine with a really interesting take on the potential outcome of this mayor's race here in New York. We'll get to all of that coming up here on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, on Red Apple Audio Networks. We'll be right back.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack, 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
I have had the worst damn luck when it comes to like real life, like finances, like give me a moment to gather my thoughts. I'll talk about this in the next hour because it's perfect timing. We'll talk about it next hour. We'll talk a little bit about the rest of this stuff. We'll close this out, and then we'll get into the recovery thing. We'll get into the gambling thing. And I gotta tell you, and maybe tomorrow night, you know what? That's the opening for tomorrow night. I'm going to talk about if it weren't for bad luck, what's the saying? I'd have no luck at all when it comes to dough. And I don't mean just like I haven't made a lot of money. I've had a career, but I mean, when it comes to investments and timing, okay. I'll save it for tomorrow morning. Sunday morning, open up. We'll talk about like just good, bad timing, real estate, luck. Okay. All right. Tomorrow morning. Yeah. Cause then, yeah, perfect. Cause it'll be Sunday morning and it'll be, my God, why have you forsaken me with real estate? Here on Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick. 1-800-848-9222. Let's get over, as I squint again, I'm sorry. Let's talk to Larry in Tampa. Good morning, Larry in Tampa.
Morning, TJ.
Oh, geez. You all right, Dad? You trip over something? What happened?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I think good. I moved the chair.
All right.
To grab the phone.
Hi, Larry.
But anyway, the reason I'm calling is because I might understand if Trump were considering turning selling the Lincoln bedroom to the Muslim Brotherhood, or if he were going to convert the Oral Office into a target range, then it would be reasonable to complain.
Right.
But historical significance is the key.
Exactly.
And the East Wing is just a bunch of concrete that filled in the swimming pool.
Right.
Kennedy's swimming pool. So really, it was destroyed by filling it in with concrete. And I think they turned it into a porch.
Yeah, so it's really, a porch.
It's of no significance. So turning it into a ballroom, I think, is brilliant.
Exactly. And it's being paid for. It's being paid for by private donors. We have the list of the and it's all out. It's all up front. We have the list of the donors. We know who it is. We know it's not the American taxpayers. We know it's not foreign people. We know it's private American donors who want to do the right thing. And again, we're talking about a president who doesn't take a paycheck.
Right. And if you recall, the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City that Trump built was magnificent. And I think it's only befitting a president that he should have something on equal standing as the Taj Mahal.
Right.
In comparison to other countries, you have these other countries, they're all, Russia. And,
I know.
But so I think it's going to be well worth
I'm with you.
And yeah, it's going to be great.
I'm with you, Larry. Thank you for calling in, buddy. I do appreciate it. You're a good guy. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you were able to move the chair and not have an incident with the chair. Let's talk to Gino in Westchester. Is Gino there? Line 4. Good morning, Gino.
Yes, I would like to mention something about Curtis.
Yes, Curtis.
This guy's been working so hard, man.
I know.
Since he was a young boy.
His whole life, this guy.
He's a true New Yorker.
Yeah.
But I urge everyone to vote for Curtis. So I give him a shot. Because for someone like this, dedicated all his life for the well-being of the citizen of New York, he deserves a shot.
I agree.
But it's not too late. It's not too late for people to change their mind. Because what happens is, when you look at the other two, I don't trust them. I only trust Curtis because this guy gives his blood for New York City.
Yeah, but and literally has shed blood for New York City. Yes.
What I would like to mention as well.
Sure.
The staff of WABC, they didn't gather behind him. They don't help him out. Because what happens is, if you have the same dialect, everybody speaks the same language. When they address the people about the life of Curtis Sliwa, they will convince people to vote. They will incite people to vote for Curtis. There's a guy around like 2:00. I forgot his name. You always talk about.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to mention. Yeah, I don't want to talk about other hosts. Gino. I don't want to do that. I mean, you keep talking about the mayor's race and Curtis. That's cool, but let's not talk about other hosts at ABC because they have their shows and they have their opinions, and let's just keep it to the race in general. If you don't mind, okay.
When you look at the life of this guy,
yes,
this guy crucified himself, for the well-being of every single citizen of New York City.
Yes.
It's not too late for people to change their mind to vote for him.
Yeah. No, you're right, Gino. You're right. And good for you. And thank you for understanding where I was going with that. I do appreciate that. It's not fair. I can't talk about other shows. But no, Gino, look, I mean, I've said it a billion times growing up in Westchester. I always, and I remember I co-hosted, with Curtis in here, filling in for, Sid when he was in Israel. And it was a privilege to share the studio with Curtis for 4 hours. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. And, the guy's a legend, he is. He's a legend. And I think that Mr. Katz and everybody here have been absolutely magnanimous and been pitch perfect in how they've handled everything. I mean, who am I to say that? Of course they have. And, it's a privilege to be here at ABC and to be here during this amazing process and this historic historic mayor's race, and to watch Curtis in action for all these months, and to be sitting in the time slot that he used to. An honor and a privilege all the way around. And it's an honor and a privilege to talk to you, the family here, the early morning crew.
It's Another Side of Midnight, 77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack. Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, family. Hour number 3, 7 minutes past that hour, the third hour. It is a kind of a toss-up here this particular Saturday morning because we're aiming towards a little bit of recovery conversation. We always do that. We always open up to anybody who wants to talk about anything that is kind of, again, burning a hole in their pocket when it comes to whether or not they think they might have a problem, or if you know that you definitely have a problem. If you're actually in recovery, fantastic. Whether it be booze or drugs or sex or, hey, look, I mean, I'm a big believer in retail, money, got issues, sex, all kinds of addictions out there. And again, the idea being, if you're powerless over something and your life is unmanageable, there you go. And, in my case, absolutely the booze. And how does it, and it's been 20 years now, but how does it manifest itself now? I'm not going to, look, of course, there's always they call it the devil's disease. He's always sitting on your shoulder, right? And very often, and this is a great throwaway phrase that I've heard more than a few times. Very often you find yourself in a situation where the only thing between me and a drink, me and a cigarette, me and a prostitute, me and a bad credit card decision, me and a bet. Me, these aren't all my addictions. I'm just a drinker. I'm not a complete mess. I'm just an alcoholic. I'm not also a sex addict and a cocaine addict. Anyway, but you'll hear addicts say the only thing between me and the whatever is God. Because there have been times when, you're standing there, nobody knows that you're an alcoholic, right? When you're guys, girls, you're standing there in the gas station, 3 o'clock, what is it? 4:10 in the morning on the East Coast? Standing there in the gas station. Nobody knows you're an alcoholic. You could buy that beer. You could buy that tall boy. Nobody knows. It's just you and God. That's who knows. And you look over at that refrigerator case, you see that Modelo. Is that good? You see that Modelo there, you see that Budweiser. And you think about it, you think about all the ways you could talk yourself into it. And somehow, next thing you know, you find yourself, you're back in the car, and it never got any further than the thought. And maybe a little bit of fantasy about cracking open that beer. But you find yourself back in the car with your water or your Diet Coke, your seltzer, and you're on your way. Back down the highway safely. No booze. Yeah, was it you and your willpower? All right. Was it God? Was it God that gave you the willpower? Anyway, I gotta say, I just love it. I love it. So if you can relate to any of that, or if there's anybody in your life, then by all means, 1-800-848-9222. Happy to talk about it. We've even spoken to people on this program in this hour about hoarding addictions. Forgive me, Collectors Anonymous. Let me look it up real quick. Because it's been bugging me for a while. What the heck the name of that anonymous group was? Let me see here. Hoard. It's because it's not hoarding. It was. Okay, what is it? Decluttering. Okay, decluttering, hoarder, Clutterers Anonymous. That's the hoarding addiction. AA. 12 steps. 1-800-848-9222. I'm definitely borderline on that. I mean, my home is clean, thank God. But clutter? Yikes. Do you have clutter in your house, by the way? What is it? What do you have a hard time throwing away, even though you know you don't need it? And what's your delineation? I hear everything from 6 months. Now that to me, I go, 6 months? And I gotta throw it away? I can start talking it like a year. 6 months. That's fresh. That's brand new. That's last Tuesday, 6 months. If you haven't utilized something or worn something in 6 months, throw it away. What about the seasons? What about a sweater? 1-800-848-9222. We're talking about everything from the shutdown to addiction to this gambling story. And by the way, so the gambling story, and we're going to get to Albert right away. So the FBI unveiled 2 indictments on Thursday. 6 defendants accused of giving out inside information on basketball games for prop bets. And I guess that's what a proposition bet. What a prop bet is like, who's going to score the first points and who's going to score the first basket in the second quarter, right? I guess a prop bet are kind of like the exotics. Is that what they are? Terry Rozier, a guard for the a former guard for the Charlotte Hornets, back when he was with Charlotte, told associates he was going to leave a 2023 game with an injury. They bet $200,000 on the under for his prop bets. The bets made thousands of dollars in profit, and the defendants and Rozier counted the money at his house. While serving as an unofficial assistant for Los Angeles, a guy named Damon Jones told his gambling ring to bet big on the Lakers' opponents because LeBron James was going to miss the game with an injury. And that was Operation Nothing But Bet. Operation Royal Flush, 31 charged in a scheme to rig illegal poker games. Again, this is where you lose me. I have no sadness. I don't care. X-ray tables, other devices used to cheat. I don't care. Hall of Fame player, Portland Trail Blazers head coach, a current head coach in the NBA, Chauncey Billups, we all know him, would recruit fish to these underground poker games. Albert in Michigan wants to talk about this stuff. Albert, good morning. Welcome to the show, sir.
I got a horse right here.
What happened? Oh.
Yeah. TJ?
Yes, sir. Hi. Yes.
Before I get to the gambling, I got some good stuff, but the thing is, with the shutdown, they don't want to pay the ICE agents. That's what they wanted. They're trying to starve them out, get them to quit. That's why they're doing it. This thing could linger on for a long time. All right, with the gambling.
Wait, that's your angle. Okay, wait. Is that your angle, or did you hear that somewhere else? That the Democrats are trying to squeeze out the ICE agents, not pay them?
Exactly. It's my idea. But,
all right.
There's not so many. Yeah, but with the gambling,
yes.
With the gambling, let's face it. If it's illegal gambling, you got to remember, you win. You don't pay no income taxes. You can get a line of credit, right? Mm-hmm. So there's so many benefits to going illegal, and illegal gambling is makes more money right now than legal gambling in this country. I mean, you had Denny McLain, the famous pitcher with the Tigers, won 68 World Series, the Cy Young, last 30 games.
But that was in the 70s. I mean, today illegal gambling still turns over more revenue than legal. It's everywhere.
Yeah, legal turns illegal, like I said, because you don't pay income taxes, and you can get a line of credit. You could go to your bookie or wherever, Alfred Offshore, and they'll give you a line of credit. I mean, you better pay up if you lose. But, you know what I'm saying? But you're not going to get that in Vegas. You can't put $1 million bet down and say, listen, I'll pay you next week. Come on. And also, the point I'm saying is there's always going to be betting scandals. They go after poor shoeless Joe Jackson. 70 people forget the 1978 betting scandal in Boston College basketball, right? The referee about 10, 15 years ago in the NBA betting on games. There's always going to be enticement for people to do it. I'd agree. Some of these guys are gamblers. So a lot of guys will say that's their biggest vice. They don't chase beautiful women. They don't care about it.
And it's a beast. It's a killer. It's a killer, Albert. It's a beast, the gambling addiction. But tell me this. Do you feel that these guys and girls that are getting scammed in the illegal poker games, for example, do you consider them victims in the traditional sense? I mean, you heard what I was saying. I'm like, I have a hard time looking at anybody in that situation as a victim.
No, of course they're not victims. But let's face the fact: these are adults. They're enticed because they're like groupies. Oh, so and so is going to be there, so then they want to show up.
Right.
And then how do you get the basketball players or any professional athletes hooked? Listen, the guy might have a big Coke bill and stuff.
Right.
Hey,
right.
we could get rid of that Coke bill for you.
Yeah.
Miss a couple of foul shots, throw the ball into the crowd, hit the hot dog vendor. You can do anything. The prop bets have made it even super easy to do it.
Explain the prop bet to me. Explain the prop bet.
The prop bet is, listen, who's going to score? What player is going to score the most in the game?
Uh-huh.
So you make sure that guy scores the most in the game, or who's going to score the least amount, or who's going to have more points in the game. That's all is a prop. And you can bet during the game now, too.
Yeah, I know, in real time.
They made it easy for you to gamble and bet, but then once you do that and there's easy money out there, then the big time boys are going to come in and they're going to hook to somebody and get them involved, right? Look at Ohtani's his translator, right? Too bad Pete Rose didn't have a translator. He could have blamed it on the translator, right?
Poor Pete Rose.
Guys, right? This is an addiction they have. They want to win. They want to bet, and they just feel, and it's inside them. You have to have a gambler on to explain that the high they get from it, and when they start losing, they want to win it back.
You make a good point, Albert. I got to jump because I got to take a break. But yeah, you know what? This is a clarion call. If you have a gambling addiction, very curious if you might call up and tell us a little bit about it. If you're actively a gambling addict, if you are a recovering gambling addict, if there's somebody in your family that is unfortunately in the middle of it or has successfully begun to recover and is recovering from a gambling addiction. If it's a loved one, if it's you, 1-800-848-9222. You go right to the front of the pack. Very curious, please. It's 20 after, and this is Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, almost said it, on the Red Apple Audio Networks. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick, 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormick.
Good morning. 24 minutes past, and this is Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, on 77 WABC, from the studios, from the Bernard McGurk studios here at 49th and 3rd in Midtown East on a chilly Saturday morning. And I do still love seeing out of the corner of my eye the dark city streets with the occasional and this time of morning it looks like New York City used to look when most of the cars going by are yellow cabs. That's nice. I'm old enough to remember looking at a sea of just taxis with the occasional truck, bus, and private vehicle mixed in. Now it's all Ubers and Lyfts and other stuff and no more cabs. It's such a heartbreak. Oh my God. So many. And by the way, lefties, that's all liberals. Uber was like, I was in government when Uber started to infiltrate New York. I was in government I was a speechwriter for a Republican elected official. And that was like 2/3 of the top that I remember of the Uber, power structure was ex-Obama administration. Ugh, just what they have done to decimate the otherwise lovely, wonderful, hardworking taxi industry is just, I mean, I know people are making ends meet. I know. I've always been kind of morally split. It's just so many. And it contributes to the congestion. It contributes to the pollution, whatever. Anyway, 1-800-848-9222. I do love looking out and seeing New York City not even quite waking up yet. We're still not there. Not on a Saturday morning. Not at 26 past 4 a.m. on the East Coast. It's still dead asleep out there. And it's pretty cool to see New York City slumbering. And you kind of pray for New York City with what could happen when the wrong guy might be sworn in January. God help us all. All right, gang. Let's see. I think we've got, okay, let's get over to, Jack in Pennsylvania. Jack, good morning. Hi there, Jack.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for calling.
So, with this whole shutdown situation?
Yes.
There's a real easy fix.
Ooh, what's that?
If Trump would just sign one of his official little
executive orders.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. If he would just sign one of them saying that every time a senator votes no on a CR, they get a fine.
Ooh. Now, could he do that?
He very well could.
So they get a fine every time they vote no on a clean continuing resolution. And this is what really is the bugger about all this, that Democrats just never ever admit to, Rich. And that is, I'm sorry, Jack, that is, this continuing resolution that they've been asked the Democrats to sign is a continuation of Biden-level spending. They're not asking for anything more than what we've got right now. They just want to be able to fund the government for for like 7 weeks or so. And it's at Biden-level spending.
Which is the funny thing, because he was our last king.
Very good. Boy, Jack, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Dig you, brother. You nailed it.
He's the one that took our freedom of speech.
Right. Took our freedom of speech and ostracized, and marginalized certain members of society for exercising their right to not get a vaccination. I know, man. I know. It's a shame. Jack, thank you, buddy. Thanks for calling in. I do appreciate it. 1-800-848-9222. Let's get to, boop. Let's get to Richard in Maine about gambling. Richard, good morning.
Hey.
Hi there. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
So basically, the story with gambling, it's one of the hardest behaviors to extinguish, to get rid of, because the reward is so random. There have been studies where chickens had been taught to gamble by pecking at targets, and then the food would drop down, and they would reward it randomly. These chickens would peck their noses until they were bleeding. That's how hard it is. It's a terrible thing. It's worse than like a drug addiction, pretty much.
Sure. Do you have experience with? Do you have experience?
Oh yeah. Both levels, and basically, you know what? The city let them have Madani.
Yeah.
Let it flow over. Let it become like Escape from New York City, and Nick Plissken will come in and save the day. That would be the Curtis Lewa guy.
Yep.
Anyway, you have fun with the city. The roasted chestnuts are going to be coming up soon. Remember the checkered cabs with the jump seats?
I remember sitting in jump seats. Yeah, man, I do. And you're right. There is something so cool about those roasted chestnuts Walking through the city and walk. That's one waft of smoke that I really do enjoy walking through.
So here, listen.
Yeah.
You want to hear something really good?
Yeah.
Wake up on Sunday morning and play Chris Christopherson's song, Woke Up Sunday Morning.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's the perfect song to listen to on a Sunday morning, 4:30.
Oh, yeah,
Waking
that
up
one.
To the smell of something. Yeah, that's
that
a good
one,
one.
and Johnny Cash. We're going to do this tomorrow. Johnny Cash Sunday morning coming down.
Wait. Blake Shelton's I Drink. Oof, that's a good one.
All right.
I have to buy another beer in a bar ever again.
Richard, I love your contribution. Thank you, buddy. Don't be a stranger, man. Make sure you call back again and give us some of that stuff. All right, gang. There you go. Thank you there. Let's get over to Cyrus on Staten Island. Cyrus, good morning. Cyrus, buddy, how are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, Cyrus. What's up, man?
I want to talk about the race for mayor.
Yes, sir.
Now, I do want to say to Curtis, some people in your life may break your heart, but they will sharpen your focus. Don't get bitter.
Well put.
And he's got my vote 100% because I would never put another political hack back in office.
Right.
And I wouldn't put a basic clown who can't deliver on any of his promises.
Oh, God. He's a joke.
But they've learned that if they promise enough, they can get in. It's the communists have understood this is the way our thing works.
Yeah.
I could come to you, promise you everything. I'm going to give everybody $10,000. I'm going to put everybody free, and if I get all the votes, I'm in.
Yeah.
And that's why he has a big grin. He knows it. And the Democrats have put such a head fake on everybody because they said, regardless of which one of us wins, at least a Democrat's going to stay in power. Man, you see how Cuomo and Adams hugging each other and all? Because they're saying, look, whatever happens, we stay in power. And that's all we care about.
Yeah.
Is we stay in power. That's why I'm urging every black person, every brown person, every Jew, get out there and vote for Curtis. I don't care what. And I want every black person to stay away from these demonstrations with these stupid white liberals who can't stand Charlie Kirk. They can't stand America. They can't. Stay away from it. Don't ever be a part of it. And I'm glad blacks are standing up to those dopey idiots in Chicago.
Yep.
That mayor is a disgrace.
Yep. Oh, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to play that clip. You know what, man? Damn it. Earlier this week I said I got to play that clip. That woman who gave the mayor a dressing down. Did you see that woman? She was like up in a booth.
I said, God bless you, woman.
Oh, I got to find that clip and play it tomorrow. It is music. It's magnificent. I want to, God, that woman for mayor.
If I had a chance to talk to Mandami, I'd, like in that movie, I'd say, Mandami, you want to be the boss? You want to be a boss? Get the hell away from me. Shut up, you clown. That's exactly what I tell him.
Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you for calling in, buddy. I love that. I love Cyrus's voice and I love his conviction. His conviction reflects his voice and his voice reflects his conviction. It's 35 minutes after. Good morning, everybody. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ, here on the Red Apple Audio Networks. Let's get over to Chris in the Catskills. Chris, good morning, sir. Chris in the Catskills.
Hello.
Hey there. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Have you ever seen the film or heard of the film Owning Mahoney? It's maybe 20 years old, 22 years old. It starred Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's a true story about a banking manager from Toronto that used to take flights from Toronto to New Jersey and go gambling in Atlantic City. And he was embezzling hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars over time from the bank where he worked. And it's a very powerful performance by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Wow.
Portraying an individual with a severe gambling addiction. So the way to look at this basketball gambling scandal with basketball players and being involved with organized crime is that they're taking advantage of people of power. And I guess we're past the point where we think that, professional athletes are role models.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I guess that's over. Yeah.
Of people with addiction. And I just was on a dating app waiting for you on another phone. And they have a system set up where if you run out of likes, you can watch an ad. Guess what the ad was? Over and over and over again, DraftKings. And it was basketball players that were promoting the ad. And segueing real quick to the election. Okay, I'm a fiscal prudent policy wonk Democrat that's held office before, but I would vote for Curtis. I'm kind of a rare breed, but the thing, I speak to a lot of Democratic voters, progressive voters, which turn out in primaries and heavily populate New York City as Democrats and overall voters. They have no problem voting for socialists, and some of them actually there's an allure to it. So that's why
interesting.
When everybody's looking and listening to these elections, I did some canvassing, and I was involved in a primary that I narrowly lost, actually. And I have, there's a lot of transplants from all over that are moving to my area.
Oh yeah, up your way, sure, in the Catskills, absolutely,
big time. I have a socialist assemblywoman, and Sarah Hanna Shreska, and she took out Kevin Cahill, who was in office for.
Wow, even I know that name.
2 different stints, and he was a original progressive, and I knew she was going to beat him when I saw her literature, her palm cards, and her door hangers.
Yeah, we're getting them in northern Westchester.
Encouraged her to run.
No kidding.
And I've heard there's rumors she might leave the New York State Assembly and go work for the Mamdani administration, but he's going to.
Oh, she's going to have to move down here. They got to live in the city.
She's going to leave. She lives in Esopus, New York right now.
Well, I'm saying she would definitely have to leave.
I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but
yeah, there's a city requirement.
Mamdani's going to get more votes than what the polls are saying because it's analogous to MAGA voters.
Okay. Oh, okay. They can't be tracked. All right. Chris, thanks so much. That was a really, really intelligent call. That was good stuff. Thank you for that. Let's go. I cannot see you again. Let's get to, Eddie in Rockland. Eddie, good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
Hi there. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie. What's up, man?
Hey,
you out and about?
I just got out here, yeah. Nice and chilly.
Yeah, nice and chilly.
Yeah. I was thinking about all these kids have their fantasy football leagues.
Yep.
And now this is leading to the gambling. And if they catch them early, it's not going to be a good thing.
I know.
It's not good at all.
I know, buddy.
Just kind of like the first beer that you drink, the first bet that you place.
Right. Right. And the first bet, and you got to imagine too, right? The first bet that you place, either way, it's going to hook you, right? Because either you're going to win and you're going to say, ooh, I'm going to do that again. Or you lose and you go, oh God, all right, well, that could have gone either way. I'm going to do it again. And then now you're on to the third bet to now try to make up for those first two. Now you're doubling this, that, and then here comes the addiction. It's disgusting. It's so terrible that they've made the mobile gaming legal. Oh, it's such a wreck.
And they all have it right in their hands. So I'm really scared for the kids.
Me too, buddy.
That's what I wanted to call about.
Yeah.
Otherwise, keep that angel on your shoulder, my friend.
Indeed. Always being in gratitude. Thank you, Eddie. I love you. Thank you for calling in. Always love when we hear from Eddie. Eddie's sober, gets out there about 4:30 in the morning, and he calls us. He sounds winded because he's out there walking. Early. Not many recovering addicts sleep in. It's a real thing amongst recovering addicts. We tend to be early birds. We get up. Because when we kind of roll over and our eyes open, we don't like the voices. We just want to okay, screw it, we're up. And we spent way too many days of our lives sleeping in. Oh, my Lord. So many wasted days. 1-800-848-9222. Let's talk to, let's get to Joaquin. Joaquin in Pennsylvania. Joaquin, good morning, brother.
Hey. Save TJ, vote for Curtis.
Right? Exactly.
You know, I actually want to talk about the gambling.
Yes,
I've
please.
had some experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'll leave that for tomorrow because I do want to touch on what Susan said earlier when you were on for Rita.
Mm-hmm.
And she said there was a poll, and I heard the same poll that she heard, that if Cuomo wasn't running, Curtis would actually be doing better than Cuomo in the poll.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of floored by that, you know?
Yeah.
It just goes to show how they're rigging this thing. Now, you know, the whole thing is this. I've been saying Curtis for a long time, but then I kind of, you know, been talking to vote for Cuomo to save us from Mandami.
Right.
You know, because just the cats and the TVs, I think we all owe him a great debt for WABC putting that, you know, conservative media out there.
Very true.
And he's really hot on Cuomo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the reality of it is that, in my opinion, Cuomo is really not going to be much different than Mamdani. And everybody fails to really point out the Islamist issue, you know, when it comes to Mamdani, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of wants to
which was front and center with that photo, that smiling photo with the unindicted conspirator from '93.
But you know, real quick about as far as these games, the poker games.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, those people should be shot. You know, it should not be unreasonable to expect a fair game if you go someplace.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, to have to cheat like that. That's just that's just crazy. There should be a code against that, you know. And it's funny because, you know, a while ago, Las Vegas was actually talking about changing the blackjack game and reducing the payouts, like, you know, going from a 1.5 on a blackjack to a 1 1/4. You know,
really?
And reducing, I had heard that a while
ago.
It's the
only game I play. That would have sucked.
I played. I actually. We'll get into it some other time. But I actually was. I lived a dream for a while, and I gambled on somebody else's money for a while.
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, it was an experience that, you know, I appreciate for the rest of my life. You know, I know the feeling of walking to the casino where everybody knows your name.
Wow, that's a rare feeling. Jeez, wow, very cool. Joaquin, we'll definitely talk tomorrow for sure. We'll talk Sunday morning. Thank you. Let's get over to, boy, why am I having such a hard time seeing the screen tonight? I do not know. Let's go to Rick in Mount Vernon. Let's go to Rick. Oh.
Yo.
Yeah, Rick, I'm not, there was something in, I don't know if it was in my headphones. I heard a yo and then nothing. All right. Sorry about that, Rick. Okay. Let's get over to, John in Bergen County. Good morning, John.
Hello.
Hey there. Hi. Thanks for calling in, brother. What's up?
How you doing, man? I'm good. 22 years sober.
Oh, nice.
Today.
Oh, today?
A week ago today.
A week ago today. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I'm dating a woman. She's also in recovery.
Uh-huh.
And an interesting twist on this, what you're talking about, is her husband took his life a year ago because of gambling debts. And unbeknownst to her, she's learning over the last year exactly how deep it was and everything like that. It's just, you know, it's amazing how someone who you're married to, she was married to and lived with and had no clue whatsoever why she thought, you know, so maybe he relapsed or something, but toxicology reports were all clean and everything like that. But then all of a sudden in the last year, a lot of stuff has come out. He had close to $99,000 in winnings from one casino app on his phone.
In winnings?
So I'm like, in winnings. So, you know, if he had that much in winnings, how much in losings did he have that he felt that so desperate that he needed to
How old was the guy?
He was right around 60.
And so you said relapsed. You mean like so? She
thought he relapsed maybe with alcohol.
That was my question. Okay, so he was an addict otherwise, and
he was in recovery himself and for alcohol, and it's just it still happens to this day. She gets like served papers.
Yeah.
Well, they try to serve papers to him, but they find out he's deceased, and so there's like this whole mystery world going on behind her back that she has no clue about.
Wow.
And you think you would have your antenna up, when you're with somebody, but it's the gambling thing. You just don't know because it's so convenient on our phones and everything. Anybody can do it at any time of the day.
And I tell you what, man. John, you're there in Bergen County. I live in Westchester County in New York. One guy who represents me in the state legislature, a guy named Pete Harcum. Pete Harcum he's out about this. He's supposedly in recovery himself. He was, as a state senator, he was the head of the New York State Committee, Drug and Alcohol Addiction Committee, right? And so there he is, supposedly sober guy, overseeing the committee that's supposed to protect people from addictions. Not only on his watch did he vote for legalizing recreational pot. Okay. He also voted for and celebrated in the press, if I remember correctly, implementing mobile gaming in New York. This is a guy who's again supposedly in recovery and was the head of the alcohol and drug abuse committee, but yet he decided that he couldn't bring himself to vote no. It was still going to pass. It was still going to pass. And this lummox couldn't bring himself to vote no. He voted to pass mobile game. I mean, the insidious nature of this addiction. It's like crack, man. It's like crack, right?
Yeah, we'll just make excuses, say, well, it's different. It's not the same thing, so it's okay. I'm only, it's only, but I mean, I just think about the iceberg,
Yep.
If she found out that he had owed taxes on $99,000 from this one app.
Yeah.
And I said to her, if he won $99,000, then he lost a hell of a lot more. And I know he was borrowing money left and right from people. It's just so sad that it's pervasive. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm sorry?
Yeah. It's an interesting twist on.
It is. Do they have kids?
No, they don't. They don't.
Okay. I was going to say, you got to keep an eye on everyone. When there's suicide, that becomes a family trait. For whatever reason.
Unfortunately, I've known her for a while. We dated 15 years ago, and it just didn't work out. The timing was wrong for both of us, and then just in the last couple of months, we just had a friendship. We just started. I basically just said, I don't see you at meetings. You want to meetings? You want to go to a meeting?
Yeah.
That's how we started, and we just started talking. And
oh, good. Well, you got each other.
It's working out nice. Yeah.
I'm glad you're there for her.
Yeah, she needs to somehow figure out a way to move on from it.
Indeed. All right. Well, listen, thank you for that bit of wisdom and thanks for giving us that honest call. I got a boogie here. I got to take a quick break. And when we come back, we got Tony, we got Pam. Stay right there, everybody. We shall return another side of midnight on Red Apple Audio Network.
All night long. This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack, 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning. All right, let's get over to Tony, and then Pam closes us out. Let's get over to Tony in Manhattan. Good morning. You're on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ.
Good morning. I have no time because what I have to tell you, I will tell you tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And your public and me gonna love it because I learned from my boss in Puerto Rico. He was a millionaire because I come here, and then he lost everything because he was a gambler. Please, tomorrow I'm gonna tell your audience about that.
All right, you got it. Yeah. Sure. We'll make our Sunday morning sort of a catch-all for all this stuff. We'll definitely do that. And, all right. So let's get over to, the one and only. Love talking. I don't think we talked to Pam last weekend. Good morning, Pam.
Hi. Inspiring.
What's that?
So much. I'm inspired by you for 20 years being sober.
Oh, thank you. That's nice of you.
Congratulate you. I have a food addiction.
Okay.
And it controls me so much every day. So really? I want to know how you get through each day. What do you do how do you discipline yourself to have victory?
It is, at its most simple core, it's, as they say, one day at a time. And really, to put it really in the simplest way in terms of trying to get through something, right? Trying to get through a day without having that food. Okay. And you don't have to, I'm not asking a specific question, but is it you don't have to tell me, a specific food or just food in general?
Oh, no. And I have food thoughts 24/7.
Okay. So, I mean, first of all, there is Overeaters Anonymous, and that is a 12-step. And it's based on, they're 12 progressive steps, not progressive politically, but they are 12 steps where one thing leads to the next, and they all serve a purpose, and they all work beautifully together. It is one of the most amazing things. My AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, program is life-saving. Anyway, but in terms of getting through anything, getting through depression, getting through anxiety, it's about a day at a time. It can mean an hour at a time. If you can make it from the time you wake up, Pam, until that first hour of being awake without eating the whatever it is you shouldn't be eating, then you've made it an hour. Now that's a couple of things, right? A, you made it an hour. You didn't put that in your mouth. You made it an hour. So that means A, you got 1 hour down in your day with X number to go. And by doing that 1 hour, you saw that you can do that hour. Okay. So you get already it's like the good version of gambling. It's like it's already working for you, you know? And then to get through that second hour, well, you might feel some weaknesses in that second hour. So maybe you don't have to go, 1 hour at a time. Maybe you got to go 15 minutes at a time where you just make it 15 minutes. Maybe you got to do it 10 minutes. I know alcoholics and drug addicts who were like just almost like having to do it this at a time, you know, and that's the truth. And so if it's a day at a time, an hour at a time, a half hour at a time, 2 minutes at a time, if that's the kind of distraction / discipline / goal setting that it takes, then so be it. But by putting together, and also knowing that you can always start a day over, you can always come back. If you screw up, there's only one thing you have to do perfectly when it comes to doing this, and that's not eat the food you don't want to eat. And if you do it, you can always start all over again and come back again. Relapse is a lot of people's story in recovery. It's not mine yet. I haven't relapsed yet, but it could happen tomorrow, but there'd be ramifications. But I mean, does that make sense to you? The idea of
yeah, absolutely. My problem is once let's just say a box of Ritz crackers.
I'm right there with you. Yes,
I eat the whole sleeve in one sitting. But finish the whole box by the end of the day. I can't even, the discipline is just out of control. It's like once I start something, it's like until it's finished, I don't feel satisfied.
You know what? I mean, there's a lot going on there, and you should definitely look up and we can talk about this tomorrow too, by the way. Take a look at Overeaters Anonymous. OA. I believe it's called OA. Look at that, Pam. And call tomorrow. Call tomorrow, and we can talk about it then too on Sunday morning. We can kick this around with other people and see if other people had the same experience. I love you, Pam. I'm grateful that you called. I love all you guys and girls. Thank you so much. Another Side of Midnight. We'll be back Sunday morning. Until then, I wish you all the luck in the world.
It's Another Side of Midnight. 77 WABC. If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.